What's up, YouTube fans? Today I want to take a look at the Hasbro Titan class Decepticon Nemesis. So I did an unboxing of this, but I got a couple things wrong on the assembly, so I'm just going to quick go over assembly. You get these wing pieces here. These are actually going to plug in here with the painted side up. Here's the unpainted side, so make sure you have this. They're going to fit in right here. You know you have the right one because it's shaped, so this one won't go in. So make sure the wing is on the front, the paint is up, and that just installs right there. Same thing on this side. And then you're going to take this piece here. It's rubberized just so that you don't hurt yourself and you don't damage anything, but that's going to plug in right here. Then you get these guns, and you can kind of do it however you want. I'm just going to do it the official way. So this one plugs in right there. According to the instructions, this one goes here and here on the sides. They do rotate a little bit. And then these circular ones can go here, here, and here. And now we're ready for action with this guy. And it looks really cool. There's a lot of really nice paint details. So let me just go over what's painted. These lighter purple stripes all across are painted. The black right here in the wing with the silver and the red triangle, that's all paint. You have the painted Decepticon logo, which I think looks really good. I actually prefer this over what they did for the Autobot Arc. Just the embossed symbol makes it look that much better. You have some translucent red up here for the, I guess what would be the window, the cockpit for this thing. Some painted right here. It's more silver accents and black gunmetal accents here, gunmetal accent there. Pink on the tip of the nose. And there's tons of sculpted detail that's unpainted. Only other thing that is painted here is these rear boosters have blue paint, which looks really nice. So overall, quite a bit of paint on something I wasn't expecting that much. As far as features in this mode, we'll get a little bit closer. You can rotate these. You can rotate these. Any of those can rotate. You can come to the side here and open up this panel. And then you can pull out this. It's actually easier if you just tilt it over. And I've actually already put the jets on there, so I'll just take them off so I can show you up close. But you get ramjet, and it just pegs on. There's a little slot on the bottom of him, and that slot will plug into this peg on this little ramp, which is actually kind of cool. Like, they can sit inside and then retract inside. I just thought that was a really neat touch by Hasbro to have these. And you get thrust here. They're all done in just gray plastic. They're not painted. I'm probably not going to bother painting them, but I just think it's cool that they can sit on this little ramp and then hide away. On the other side, we have another identical ramp. And again, you can just kind of tilt it over. Let's see. That might be stuck because I put the figures on it. Let's see. There we go. And on this side, we've got, it could be any Seeker, but Starscream, Thundercracker, or Skywarp in their jet mode. And then we have, again, Starscream, Thundercracker, or Skywarp in their Cybertronian mode. So I just think this is a really nice touch to have these ships. I'm never planning to take them off of this little thing. I just think it's cool. You can pull them out for display purposes. And it looks like that. Very nice. Other features, you can lift this up, put it vertical, and then you can close this wing. And now it looks like this. It's basically symmetrical all the way around. And so it looks kind of like that. I'll just get out further so you can see it, but it does look really good here. Sometimes these panels do pop apart if you're not careful, but... Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention as a setup thing, you don't want to rotate these outwards, these little fins, and that kind of completes the look. But there you go, there's the Nemesis Arc in vertical, kind of takeoff mode. But I do really like the fact that they worked in this little gimmick here so you can sit it flat, because that's how I'm going to have it displayed in my shelf. So I prefer that they had that option if you weren't going to do it vertically. So you kind of have two display options for your shelf, is vertical or horizontal. So nice options there. As far as scale, I'll just bring in, this is the Optimus Prime from the recent Masterpiece Jetfire. You can see, you know, they don't really scale. You need really tiny figures here. There is one more ramp here on the back. So if you come to here, open this up, there's a little gateway there, and they can walk up. But again, too small to fit a figure this size. You might be able to fit like a really small minifigure in there and then close this up. It also has the port to be able to connect to other base mode legacy figures if you want to do that. I'm not going to do that here, but there you go. There's the features. Nice overall ship mode. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Titan class Arc that we got previously. They do really look good together. My personal preference, I think this one actually looks nicer than this. Just the color choices they chose on the plastics here, and the fact that the paint they put on there, I think it's just a little, it's supposed to look like it's weathered, but it actually ended up looking just like, you know, dirty. But overall, I do prefer the look of the Nemesis compared to the look of the Arc. But they do fit nicely together. I'm planning to display them together like this. All right, now let's get her transformed into her robot mode. I'm going to do it standing up like this just because it's easier to transform this way and easier to access. I may end up going off camera a little bit here and there. I'll try to keep it all in frame here. So let's start with these panels here. You're going to pull apart here. They're tabbed in together, and then they're tabbed in on the sides. So pull those apart. I'm going to take this panel, unpeg it from each other, and just set those down. Come to the bottom side. I'm going to take this entire panel, which we pegged in at the start of, you know, the unboxing, and this is actually just slid on like that. So it may come off on you, so just be aware of that. All right, this is going to rotate up like this. We're going to rotate this around, and you can just leave this down for now because we're going to take care of that a little bit later. Open up these arms on both sides. You're going to open it up and you're going to rotate it downwards like that. Open up, rotate downwards. Just make sure these are out of the way so you're not like putting stress on those unnecessarily. You come back to the front here and we're going to accordion out these legs. So open these up, accordion the leg down, and then we're going to rotate the leg at the thigh, and then peg this back in. Fold this foot down, rotate the foot 180 degrees. We're going to take this panel here, it's going to collapse basically all the way in like that. And you can have this folded out like this, or you can just have it straight back. I think the official transformation has it like in because there's a tab and a slot right there. So you can put it like that, but it's kind of your choice really, honestly. All right, come back to the front and do the same thing on this leg. These are going to rotate around 180 degrees. You're going to fold these down, and then you're going to open up this panel right here. And then peg these down. There's little tabs. And these like to pop off the little, you know, pegs here. Not a big deal, but you can just pop them back on. But peg these in to the back of the leg. All right, now we've taken care of the legs. We're going to take care of the upper body. So you want to take this, and this is going to rotate around to the other side. So just get the arms out of the way, and you're going to rotate the center section, and make sure you're pushing this way away from the joint there, otherwise it'll just pop off on you. Rotate it all the way around to the other side, so it ends up like that. Come to the back here, and over here we're going to unpeg this. That'll allow us to take all of this and basically split this right down the middle. So we're going to pull apart on these shoulder pieces here, and basically extend this all the way out, so until it gets basically flat on this section right here. Bring this forward, this chest piece. It's going to tab in right here. So line that up, push that in, and you can straighten these out or have it however you want. Go ahead and spread the chest like that. See that nice Decepticon symbol right there in the middle. That's pretty cool. Right, come to the back here. We're going to take care of this. So bring the head up and over and just rotate to the front. We'll take care of that in a second. You're going to take this, and this is going to come right into here. There's a little tab right there fitting into a slot right there. So get that all the way in and actually make sure that peg gets in there. You're going to take this backpack piece. There's a tab right here. It's going to plug into this, and then this tab right here is going to plug into here. So get both of those on there. It is a tight fit, but should be able to get it on. There we go. And then this tower actually ends up sitting right in the middle there. There's a little spot for it. All right. And you can leave that out. Come back to the front here, and now we'll take care of the arms. The arms, you're going to open up this panel here. Whoops. Knock this off. This is just on a little mushroom peg, so we'll put that on later. But rotate this around. Rotate the hand 180 degrees. And last step here, we're going to take care of this head. So it's actually a little tricky because I didn't even see how to do it. But you're going to lift out on these, and you're going to lift up on this little head crest here. That reveals the eyes, and then these come out to the side to reveal kind of like the faceplate in the mouth. But it is fully painted. While we're in here, I might as well just show you that purple paint, this gray, the red for the eyes, the red for the mask, all of that is paint. The purple, dark purple is plastic. In the back you do have light piping. It doesn't seem to really show through, but I don't really mind because the painted look is fine for me. Alright, and there is our Decepticon Nemesis in her robot mode. And I actually really like it. In the promo images, it looked kind of weird, it kind of awkward. I mean, it is a little bit awkward, but in person I have to say I like it a lot better than I did in the promo images. There's quite a bit of paint, so I want to point out the painted parts. So the face I mentioned already, pretty much fully painted, the lighter purple, red, and the gray. You've got this lighter purple with dark black or gray in the middle, gray parts here, all the light pink you see, all the red you see in various parts is painted. The light pink here, on the crotch, on the feet, on the chest. The Decepticon symbol itself is painted in that purple. I mean, there's a lot of paint. Little black accents here. By the way, now that it's in robot mode, you can still push out these little panels, and they have the ships on them. I also think that's cool that you can still do that, and you have a little button to use it, so that's kind of neat. You can close up these little panels. But I really like the look of it. I was just kind of surprised because I thought I'd sort of written off robot mode, but I really like the robot mode. Now, you can remove these, and I actually kind of recommend, they're just on little mushroom pegs, pop off pretty easily. They're designed to pop off rather than break, so I think that was a smart choice by Hasbro, but you can just pop those off and set those aside, because I think she looks a lot better without those kind of, getting in the way. And maybe that's why they made those detachable, but honestly, I think it looks much, much better without that. So if you're going to display in robot mode, that's my first recommendation. Other things you can do is you can take off this little wing piece here. It's supposed to be a weapon. I think it's really stupid. It looks like a flag or something. I don't know. I think this is silly. But you can't tap that into the hand, and yay, she has that. Whatever. It's supposed to be a knife, I guess, but to me it looks like a flag and it looks dumb. So I'd put that back there. And I'd rather use this weapon. So if you come to here, you pull this straight out, and it's on a little tab system here, so you got to pull it pretty firmly. And in the promo images and instructions, you're supposed to pull out this handle, and this is, and then you come to the front here and fold out the front part of the gun. So it looks like this. Personal opinion, I think this looks pretty dumb because this is just a giant triangle. I think it looks better like this. That looks more like a gun to me. So, and then you have this little gray painted piece on the back. So I like to display it like that, but of course you have the choice. You can display it however you wish. Me personally, I think it looks a lot better if you have it like this. And you can close the fist around, and she can have two of those guns if you want. All right, and there she is, ready for battle. I personally think this looks a lot better than whatever they had in their promo images. The guns just look better folded down like this. And overall, really nice look. I also forgot to mention these guns actually tab in to the top of the forearm. So not only is it tabbing in the hand, tabbing into the forearm. It's very secure, not going anywhere. They're not going to fall out. All right, now let's go over her articulation. I did mention the head is on a rotating swivel, so it goes up and down, rotates all the way around. It's a little bit loose, but it does hold a position. Shoulders can go up on this joint. It tends to pop the neck joint out, so you can, once you move it past there, it's okay, but it likes to pop out the neck. You also have this outer joint, so there's a single hinge or a single ratchet movement out, and then a couple in. By the way, these chest pieces, they're supposed to lock into place, but it's easy to kind of push them in, so just make sure they're pulled all the way out and, you know, clipped into place as best as possible. So you can't get the shoulder all the way up here and then down to there. You'll have a rotation at the bicep. You have an outer movement here, which is why I recommended removing this panel that we had over here, because then you can get this out easily on this ratchet joint here. It goes inwards as well. You have a double jointed elbow. You can see the full bend. I really like that. I don't think we've had that on any of the Titans, but I might be remembering wrong. Coming down to here, you have, and by the way, this ratchet joint is a little bit on the loose side, but there is a screw. At least I think, yeah, there's a screw in there. So if you wanted to tighten either of these joints, it's a double jointed elbow. I think you could just tighten that screw and everything would be better. Rotation at the wrist. The fingers are on a single pin and the thumb's on a pin. Not individually articulated, but pretty good hands considering the previous Titans hands we got were pretty trash. So this is pretty good compared to those. Coming down to the waist here, and by the way, these guns, you can kind of rotate these however you like. I think in the promo images they have it out like this, but that covers up the nice paint there, so I prefer to have them sort of inwards, but really it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. You have rotation at the waist on a ratchet. It does rotate all the way around. It just gets a little bit in its own way because of this backpack here, but you can rotate all the way around if you put the effort in. The legs are on a ratchet. The hips will rotate up to there. Actually, it'll go all the way up, so you can do a full high kick all the way back as well, up to the side. So you get plenty of kick out to the side on a ratchet as well. Rotation at the thigh on a ratchet, nice and tight. You have a single jointed knee, gets you 90 degrees out of that. Ankles, you have a tilt here, side to side, a ratcheted back and forth, and then a rotation on the foot due to the transformation. So plenty of movement there as well. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Netflix or Earthrise Optimus Prime. And I think in this robot mode, it does actually kind of make sense in terms of the scale. Pretty large robot here, and it towers over any Deluxe or Voyager class. So, and for a quick size comparison, there she is next to the Titan class Blue Guardian, and to my surprise, actually taller, quite a bit taller too, than the Titan class Blue Guardian, and probably most of the other Titan class figures. So she is going to tower over. I kind of like the size. It does stand out on the shelf. Obviously, I'm going to have it in the vehicle mode, but nice to have this option. So final recommendations on the Hasbro Titan class Decepticon Nemesis. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. I was actually pretty surprised. Typically when I get these Titan class figures, they're kind of a letdown. Either they cut corners or they're not painted well, or this overall, the features, the articulation, something's always lacking. This one was pretty good. I mean, there's not really much that it's lacking. The robot mode is well painted, well sculpted and detailed. It looks pretty good. I do think it looks better in person than it does in photos. It looks kind of wonky in photos, but in person, I definitely prefer how it looks. The ship mode is excellent. I think it looks perfect. It looks just like the Decepticon Nemesis. And then it has a lot of like features, like the little ships that pop out, the guns, the turrets that can rotate. In robot mode, you get these guns, which I think also look good. And you have the option of either keeping them on the legs or putting them in the hands. I think obviously much better in the hands. These weapons, which I forgot to mention, in robot mode, you can swap them on the side, so you can get the paint in front rather than having the unpainted surface on the front. So that's a nice option. But as weapons, I think they're dumb. They don't really work. I think they're supposed to be knives, but they just don't look good. But luckily you have these two things, so you don't need those. You can just leave those in the arms. Looks better in the arms anyway with the additional paint. So nice accessories as well. I think they just work. But the only complaints I have with this girl is the shoulder joints were a little bit loose, but easily fixed with tightening that screw. The mini jets that they included were just gray plastic, kind of boring. Not really good looking, but you don't really need those anyway. They just tuck away inside of the arm here, so it's fine. And the other thing is the overall ankle tilt. I could have taken a little bit more ankle tilt so you could get the legs a little bit further apart. But those are minor gripes. I really do like this figure. Now, people ask me, are you going to pay the full price and get this? And the answer is obviously yes, because as a reviewer, I need to get this before the 6-month sale or whatever. But if you're willing to wait, you could probably get this for a little bit of discount. Historically, these Titan class figures have gone on sale later on. But I think it's worth the price personally. I think this is a pretty good figure. Out of all the Titan class figures we've gotten, this is my second favorite. Scorponok is still my favorite. Scorponok or Black Zarak, both same mold. That's my number one. Number two is this lady right here. Number three would be Blue Guardian and Omega Supreme. And then down from there. So that should tell you, how much I like this, if it's my third favorite or second favorite figure. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.